So Hugh Jackson had some high praise for you again today. Excited to have you back, and talked about your yards per carry last year. I mean, again, when you kind of hear that from him, what does that mean to you?
It just lets me know, he believes in me, have a lot of faith in me, and I just appreciate that. I appreciate him, for being the person he is, the coach he is, and I like his style, the way he coaches, and I just appreciate him as a person.
You said you're poised for a big year. Do you feel that way, and do you feel like what they did on the offensive line free agency really means there's going to be a real commitment to running?
Yeah, I know, just the type of coordinator Hugh is. He likes to run the ball, and, I feel like it's going to be a monster year also.
Do you think you're always having to prove yourself? I mean, not only contractually, but, as far as in the league and maybe even with this organization, they constantly keep saying, well, he's there, but, maybe he's got another big one coming.
Yeah, I'm used to that because all my life, that's what I had to do. I always been, like the underdog, so I always, had to prove myself, prove that I was, as good as I am. So it's not a problem for me. To your question, yes, it's always be like that. So, coming in, that's how it was. So, I just take it in stride.
Yeah. Isaiah, you're kind of late in arriving and signing. Is there an explanation for that? Or is there something keeping you busy, or what?
I really don't know. I really don't want to talk about that right now.
Was it an unhappiness with the situation?
I feel like, everybody wants a long-term deal. That's just, that was one of my goals. But, I'm just here right now trying to get better with my team and just trying to have a winning season. So I'm just focused on myself and my team.
Today, are you looking forward to free agency, or looking forward to staying here and getting something done long-term?
I can't speak on that right now. I don't know. I'm gonna do what's best for me, when the time comes. But everybody, wants a long-term deal. So that's the goal, and that's what that's what I'm aiming for. But I'm just trying to focus on winning and getting better right now.
Is that a dead issue here, or is it still open to happen before the season?
I really don't know. So.
You could make an argument that this offense isn't going anywhere and the team isn't going anywhere until it figures out quarterback. What's your thought about whether this team has a chance to finally figure out quarterback this year?
I really feel like we have a lot of talented guys at the quarterback position. I feel like either of those guys can get it done. We just out here trying to work, and everybody's trying to get better together. So when the time comes, we'll see. I feel like each of those guys are very talented, and they got the capability to get it done.
When you saw the moves they made on the offensive line,
right,
bettering that, bolstering
right.
it, what did you feel? Has a direct connection with the guy that plays your position, doesn't it?
Right. I was just happy about it. I was happy about it just because I know, how strongly Hugh wants to run the ball, and we talked about it at the end of last year, and he told me we would be way better running the ball this year, and I got faith in it, and I believe him.
When you look back on last year, what did you think? Were you happy with it? Could you have done more? What was your assessment of last season?
I feel like I could have done more. But, we have a lot of talented guys on our team. So, I'm not a greedy guy, but, I feel like, I got what it takes, to help my team win, and I wanna contribute as much as I can.
All the running.
He said he had a talk with you when you showed up, when you reported.
Mm-hmm.
What did he say to you? What was his message?
The message was just come back and, just get in the rhythm, meet all my teammates, and just keep working, and just do it for me, my goals, they're going to stand regardless, but, just come back up here and keep working for me, see the big picture.
Did he address the fact that you might not be happy with your contract situation?
Yes, he addressed it. We talked about that, and, it is what it is. I know Hugh can't just control everything, so that's where we are with it right now. Both sides, we're trying to get something done, but we just trying to get it done right.
all the running backs that had more yards than you last year had 40 or 50 or 60 more carries.
Right.
If that were more closer, would you say you're one of the best backs in the league?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, of course. But I know, if I had, some of the carries that, other running backs had, I know I would, have the same yards, or if not better. So, that's how I see it. And, I'm very confident in myself because, I know how the work I put in, and I know, how talented I am.
Is that a source of frustration at all?
It's not a source of frustration because I feel like if a person knows football, then, they know exactly what's going on. So it's not, I don't have to come out and say what's going on or speak about it, but I feel like if you know football, you know. So.
Tro, when you talk about wanting a long-term deal, a lot of guys, might say, well, if they were 1-15 last year, why wouldn't he want a long-term deal somewhere else?
Right.
Well, why would you want one here?
I mean, I'm comfortable here. I like my teammates, the coaches, just the atmosphere, everything, about being in Cleveland. I've been here. This is going on my 4th year now. I'm comfortable. And it's really just my teammates and just, just being around everybody up here. I enjoy it.
So what goes through your mind when you see other guys sign long-term deals like Christian yesterday?
Oh, I'm happy about it. Me and Christian came in together. And, we always talking about getting long-term deals. We always talked about that since we came in. So I'm very happy for him. I'm happy for him. I'm glad to see him, get paid.
Any twinge of why not me or am I next?
Not really, because I know, you got to be patient. God does, does things for a reason and does them, on His timing. So I can't really just say, oh, I should be now, or I should have been then, or nothing. I'm just waiting, just waiting for my time.
Hugh still talks, your contract situation aside. When we talk to Hugh, we ask him about you and things like that. He still, speaks of you much like he did last year. Like he really views you as a centerpiece within his offense. Is that, I guess, somewhat of a consolation for you? I mean, it'd be easy for the team if they don't have a guy locked up long term that they could minimize that player, but they don't seem to be wanting to do that with you.
Right. I mean, I don't know the situation, but my goal is to get a long-term deal, but I don't know the situation. I can't speak on it.
Hey, Crow, considering the way you entered the league as an undrafted free agent, that would be quite an accomplishment for you, wouldn't it?
Right. Yes, it would. It would. Coming in as an undrafted free agent, I didn't get a signing bonus, just stuff like that. And I knew, what type of player, capital player I was coming out, but I knew other people didn't see it. So, I had to get up here, work hard, keep my nose clean, and just, show everybody what type of person I am and what type of football player I am. So, I feel like I've done that. So, it is what it is right now.
Hey, Crow, you said earlier you think it'll be a monster year individually.
Right.
How are you feeling about the team coming off of last year?
I feel like the team is looking very good. I feel like we got a lot of talent. We put a lot of pieces together where we needed them. Just getting a lot of talented players. I feel like we have a good chance, and I feel like we're gonna do something special.